My name's Mimi, and right behind me, right up there, is my Sherrilyn Kenyon shelf. Now I'm going to angle the camera properly. I just finished reading my gigantic book by Sherrilyn Kenyon. As you can see, you got a title. It's called Styxx, and it is by the amazing Sherrilyn Kenyon. I loved this book. I binged this book since Tuesday, and I just finished it now. I would have finished it sooner, but because I go to college 4 days a week, and I have to do further education and finish reading other books and do papers, etc. So in fact, it's kind of like the first 2 weeks of school. Anyway, if I was not continuing my academic endeavors, I would have finished this book probably in a day, evening-ish. I wouldn't have stopped, but it would have been worth it. But it also would have been way more emotionally unstable than I am right now. Okay, let's start from the beginning. This beautiful, awesome, amazing, talented writer on the back of this book is one of my role models. This was the second tattoo I got on my body. The first one, okay, sorry, stupid thing. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked phone. Okay, first tattoo I have on my body is the logo, one of many logos for one of the book series that I've written and I'm trying to get published. This tattoo right here, this dark corner mark, is the second tattoo I got. I got this book, that tattoo, because Sherrilyn Kenyon is one of my role models. This book is just another reminder as to why she's one of my role models. I love every second of her books. I think there's only 4 of them that I'm kind of like, really? But I still enjoy them as a whole, but also I have to read them again in one total arc. One of the most beautiful things with the Dark Hunter series by Sherrilyn Kenyon is that you don't have to read in order, which I think is absolutely fascinating, and I want to be able to write that like that one day, because I just think that's so brilliant. Because then you can pick it up at any time you want, and you can enjoy it. But then when you get scenes from previous novels again, it's okay. It works. It just works. And then words. But then, of course, she rewards you for those that begin it from the start. Now, since I started this book technically around 10 and kind of backtracked and around, I'm a little jumbled. But this book properly kind of fixes that. It's 836 pages. Look at that. People are like, are you reading an encyclopedia? I'm like, no, because I didn't have the cover on it because I didn't want to ruin this beautiful, beautiful cover. I was not reading the encyclopedia. I was reading a glorious, heart-wrenching book. That was book 22 in a series, unless I'm at it. No, that's book 22 in a series. Depending on, in some counts, it's 17, which I don't really understand. But it's book 22. It's book 22. I'm sure of it. I have a list. It's 22. It's a glorious, glorious, amazing Greek, Roman, Native American, Christian world series thing. Some people don't like her. Some people really don't like the taste that she's done in the series. I, for one, love it. It makes me really want to do Greek history classes if I get the ability to or option to, or at least write more Greek-themed series eventually. But now it's almost 3 minutes into this video, I guess I should actually discuss this book. So, spoilers if you haven't read it or are in the middle of reading it, I guess. I'll try to properly organize my thoughts. I wrote some of these things down in the email because I just had to. But let's try and order my thoughts properly. This novel is heart-wrenching. Several of these books kind of just rip your heart out and just you want to hug the book. I hugged this book a lot. I closed this book and just stared at it several times while reading it because it's just so mind-blowing. Every second of it is just like, every time you think something's good, something almost good, or something slightest bit good happens to Styxx, it goes horribly wrong. And it just makes you root for him. You root for Styxx, which is shocking because for like 21 books, you don't care, you want him to suffer, you don't give 2 shits about him. Some people do, but in my opinion, I was like, you fucker. Because in book 15, in Acheron's book, you hate him with a passion. You hate him as much as you just don't want him happy. You don't, because in Acheron's mind, Styxx was this glorious prince and everyone pampered him. But in Styxx's mind, that's not it at all. In Styxx's story, we see that what a two-faced bitch Risa is. I mean, she's in love and loves Acheron, which is awesome because she's your sister and you should totally be good to your family. And she's great to Acheron. But to Styxx, she's horrible. She hits him. She calls him names. She belittles him. She does not stand up for him. Anytime he does something the least bit mean, she runs to their father, who is a horrible fuck. I mean, he was bad in Acheron's book, and Styxx is 10 times worse. When Styxx and Acheron are like 7 years... When Styxx and Acheron are 7 years old, their father, whose name I'm not going to bother pronouncing because it's going to fail miserably, it's something with an X, he gives Acheron off to his brother, Styx is a pedophile, and has his own little sex thing going on. He's got his own little sexcapade thing. Go and have sex with my horrors, and he just sucks. Like, he sucked in Asheron's book, and Styx, we see how bad he is, because Styx idolized the guy. He was a soldier, he was a warrior, he was people you just wanted to idolize him, and then you get him, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I thought you were an okay person. Not in Ash's book. I didn't think you were an okay person at all. You drugged him, and you made him your pimp. You made everyone have sex with him. And then in Styx's book, we find out it wasn't just Asheron that got sold to sex slavery and had a horrible, horrible human life. It was also Styx, and Styx was royalty, so it was just like, whoa, wait a sec. Not that matters to anything, but it's like, my god, these are your nephews, and you're being a pedophile with your nephews. You are, and because they're twins, it just makes it 10 times better for you, and just like, you're a sick fuck. And it's just, I was very happy when Styx fucking killed him. In Ash's book, we just thought he had a heart attack. In Styx's, we see that Styx flipped he smothered him. He smothered him in his sleep, and he deserved every second of it. And then later on in his life, he thought that he deserved way worse than that. But the guilt of having killed his uncle at like 16, 17 years old. I'm sorry, the time's kind of messed up. I'm not good at the Roman numerals. I'm sorry. When he was young, he was a young kid. I think he's about 17, I think. I could be wrong, I'm sorry. But he was like 17 years old, and he killed his uncle. He killed someone he idolized all of his childhood. And he killed him because he was cruel to him and his brother, and he deserved it. He deserved way worse than just smothering, but still. With this, we see how Risa was so kind to Asheron and so awesome and loving and stuff, and then that Styx, she's just so very cruel. And the father wanted Styx to be the heir. He wanted Styx to rule the kingdom when he died, therefore he treated him like shit, and apparently that equals love. But like, there are moments when you see the dad realizing, wow, I'm horrible and I should probably say something, but we don't get him saying it out loud. Styx has the ability to read thoughts. He doesn't like this ability at all. He gets, when there's so many people in the room, he gets massive nosebleeds and headaches, and it just, my gosh, I have to hug it again, even in this, just thinking about it. It's just beautiful. Not that any of that is beautiful, that was very heart-wrenching, but the sheer writing of these novels are just so heart-wrenching, and I want to write like this eventually. I don't want to make my readers cry, but it just, there were as many times when I found myself having to wipe away tears at the beautifully scenes, and Styx's love for Bethany is so amazing, and it's a thing that you only get to sadly see in novels nowadays. I mean, yes, there are happily married, but in my opinion, they're just a way you just get it in a book that you don't see in real life. Obviously, Sherry's lucky enough to have that now, but wow. Oh my god, for like almost this much of the novel, Ash and Styx don't get along at all. And they have every right to not get along, because in both sides of the story, in both mindsets, they just know. In both minds, in both Ash's mind and Styx's mind, they viewed themselves betrayed by the other person because of the way others acted and made them feel, as if that's how it was for the two of them. But then a goddess of memory gave Styx all of Asheron's mind, and he wanted to befriend his brother. In 2007, he's like, I want to be brothers, we need to be a family, and Ash said no. In 2008, he did it again, and then finally in 2012, when he finally gets to see his lovely, lovely, sweet Bethany again, they reunite, and like, they reunite a lot in this novel, but like, it's a legitimate brotherly hug moment of like, I would die for you, that they haven't had since they were 7. It was 11,000 years. 11,580 something years of just ultimate horrible hatred that was equal in both minds, but still sad, because Styx had went to his brother and was like, I love you and you're my brother and I want to be brother again, and Ash was just not ready for it, and I'm sad it took so long, but it was worth waiting for them to become brothers again. It really was. For 22 books, I gave no fucks about Styx at all, but then when I heard this book was coming out, I was really excited. Yes, there's other books I want to see. I want to see Savitar, I guess Savitar, and I want Nick's truly happy ending because I get him in the spin-off, but I don't know when we'll get Nick's book, but that's just the thing. And Urain to be happy again. Urain, spoilers, is Styx and Bethany's kid. And that makes me really happy, because Urain has a tattoo of Styx's phoenix shield on his bicep. I mean, really, that's just so cute. He has his dad's logo on him. His logo, his crest on him, and he has no clue, and like, it was just very cute. It was very cute. Apollonie, when she destroyed the world, when she destroyed Atlantis and got rid of all of the gods that she could get a hold of, she ripped out a baby out of Bethany's stomach, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry I like you, Apollonie, what the fuck, you took it too far, that's a baby. Well, Apollonie gave it to Stryker and was like, raise this fucker. Well, not in her exact words, but Stryker raised him, and then raised him like it was his kid, and then it was cute. It was very cute. It makes me happy. There was another lovely quote that Savitar said to Ashon. I probably have said his name wrong. But our lives are marked and shaped by regrets. Things we all want to take back and can't. In a perfect world, we would never hurt the ones we love or cause hurt to befall them. But the world isn't perfect, and neither are we. I can't write like that yet. I'm 20 years old. I haven't been through the stuff that Sherrilyn has been through. I haven't even thought of the things she has been through to the extent that she has written. But I hope to one day be able to write like that. I hope to one day be able to proudly be like, hey, this is my book. Look how gigantic and plot-filled it is. My books are maybe 300 pages. The newer one can be about 400 or 500. Have yet to even, that's not even close. I was at like 500 and I was like, oh god, I'm still in his human life. I'm not even close to happiness. He wasn't even he's not happy until the end, but it's okay. It was worth his happiness. Styx proved himself as a hero. I hated him for so long, and in this book I rooted for him. I rooted for him as much as I rooted for Ashon throughout the entire series, and I think that takes talent that I hope to one day be able to possess, like this beautifully talented woman on the back of this book. So yeah, I'm angling this really around, but yeah, I hope to one day be able to write like this beautiful, talented woman where everything makes such perfect sense when it's finally explained and let out to you. I spent like half an hour talking to my dad about how wonderful this series is, and then listing how every single character from every novel is intertwined in some subtle way, and I think that's brilliant. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you. I hope this has helped make someone want to go read this book. I really, really recommend this series. I recommend reading it in order, but if you want to go and read this book because of the emotions I've maybe given you, please do it, and keep a box of Kleenex tissues with you and some good food.